chair of the Africa group of negotiators. I think that we've all agreed that plastic, waste is a challenge confronting all of us. We are at a critical juncture. We have no excuse than to take a decision. And in taking a decision, we intend building consensus. And when you agree to build consensus, you must be willing to give up something to be able to get something. We must take a decision before the August conference in Geneva. And I think that we don't have much time left. Africa is the biggest consumer, yet we are the least producer. So the consequences of this thing affects us more than it affects many other groups. To the extent that we are not the biggest producer, but we stand firmly in the decision that we all take collectively. Mine is to call on other groups who are still taking transigent position that marine life is at stake, our core existence as human beings is at stake, the livelihood and economic activities of people are at stake. So we cannot be dwelling over these very important and critical aspects of our core existence. To that extent, we want to congratulate the people and the government of France for organizing this, of course, with Costa Rica, and also want to urge those who are still not signatories to this or append their signatures to do that quickly. If they all agree, as we've all agreed, that we must do something, and it is no longer time for us to be dilly-dallying, it is time for us to take action. I want to say that as the chair of the Africa group of negotiators, we will deepen the conversation. There is still time for us to jojo. There is still time for us to make some compromises. We will do what is needed to be done. But the three most important demands we are making, I think, are critical. Financing. The fiscal spaces within many African countries are limited. To the extent that we are demanded to do more, I think that there should be some equity and fairness in terms of the financing is being done. Africa has limited access to even take, for example, venture capital, global venture capital, availability to be able to undertake some researches. Out of $300 billion of global venture capital, we access only $3 billion. So we are limited in terms of the researches we have to do for the purposes of coming out with innovative means by which we can use some of this thing using plastic waste. When my sister was talking, she talked about what we have been able to do with plastic waste. You can find series of such examples in many African countries. And I am happy about the aspects of how we can utilize the waste that is already the legacy, if you like, waste, which is a challenge. How are we going to utilize them? So in as much as we want to ban it entirely, we support as a state. But the already existing, plastic waste, how do we take care of them? Because that is causing a lot of danger to us. So I want to congratulate you, and I want to tell you that as a continent and as the chair of the group of negotiators, we are more than willing to do everything possible to ensure that by the time you go to Geneva and others, everybody would agree. I know that some have taken transigent position, but majority of us as a people would have agreed that there is no longer time for us to dilly-dally. Time to ban plastic waste now. Thank you so much.